Guys, after yesterday, and this is the honest truth about obviously United versus Man City, which other people have already said, where Carrick's done really well. That was one game. Obviously, he's came back as a second round, and he's still kept that win record where he's not lost a single game. I know, obviously, he's drew one out of the 4 games that he's actually been a manager of as an interim manager. So fair play to Carrick at that time. But we might have been in a bit of a pickle if, and I mean if, Dalot had been red carded. We were still a dominant team, the most dominant team yesterday, with him in, and also Luke Shaw, who's meant to have been past it, which I take it back, because he played out his skin. The whole team played out their skin. Dalot obviously made Dalot mistakes, copying where a few of the others. I'm sorry about this. I'm still a bit ill. I've obviously made that situation where, like Marcus Rojo or Lisandro Martinez or Ugarte, where they've all dived in doing silly challenges, could have got themselves red carded. None of those other players at United where they've done stupid challenges and could have got themselves red carded throughout. But we were a bit fortunate that he got given a yellow, because even other players, ex-players, have said, yeah, it's a straight red, including Mike Dean, and yet Mike Dean wouldn't have gave him a red, I reckon. I reckon it would have been a yellow, so he would have listened to the VAR. Sorry again. I'm trying to get rid of all that shit, but it's hard to get rid of it. Yeah, he would have listened to VAR, Mike Dean. So he can only say that in Sky Sports, but he wouldn't have said that as a referee. He wouldn't have said that as a VAR. They would have all just gave it a yellow. And on a different day, it's definitely a red. But for me, yeah, straight red for Dalot. But can only do what you can do. So it's not our decision, their decision. So it's all good. So a yellow, perfect. Yeah. Mbeumo and Dorgu, well done on your goals, lads. Honestly, fair play to you. Bruno, perfect as usual. That's why you are the best midfielder, most underrated midfielder in the world. You are one of the best I've seen in a long time. No doubt. I don't care what any other fucker says. You are one of the best, if not the best, that people should be looking at every single time, not just that Saudi league, because they're no your talent. No one should have your talent, bar Manchester United at the moment, because nobody else is looking at you like that. If you were at Man City, you'd be freaking giving them the lead every single time. You'd be giving them the league, the Champions League, Carabao Cup, then the FA Cup. You'd be giving them a lot of things that they've not seen. Spurs wanted you. They didn't get you. Man United did. And look at what you can do in any position you play. Whether it be right mid, CAM, striker, even though I don't think you play striker yet, CDM, you can play in many different positions. Because that's how much of a leader you are, and I don't care what fucking anyone says. Not any of our legends, not anybody else's legends. So Lisandro Martinez, you outplayed Haaland easily. Same with Maguire. Doku got outplayed by Dalot, and Semenyo got outplayed by Luke Shaw. You all got pocketed by them 4. Yeah, you have skillful and strong players up front. Foden, where the fuck were you? Honestly. When you were on the freaking sheet, you only took like one corner that I could see, and that was about it. You were disappeared. You were even freaking smaller than the butcher. You were like 2 foot what? Nothing. We couldn't fucking see you. Even John Cena could not see you at all. And that's saying something. But I'm not going to do that. No. You're all class players, don't get me wrong. But if that is the United way, Carrick's done to get United into that structure where City can't even get a shot on target in 7 shots, made Haaland get subbed, Doku subbed, and Foden subbed within that one game, that's saying something. That Man United team should have been doing all that under any manager. Because that's been the best performance going since in a long time, as they all say, in the Premier League. But you've seen like some of the best performances in the competitions. Against Liverpool when we beat them 4-3. Against that fucking Lyon when Cherky was still there for them. In that 5-4 victory. We've had some of the best games going, but we've struggled so much. And yet that game yesterday has been the best game going for us in a fucking long time. So these players that get sold or get put on loan and say that they're away from Man United, it's not that. It's because you can't fucking handle the badge. If you could handle the badge, you could do performances like we did yesterday under Carrick. Amarim couldn't get the best out of freaking Man United for some reason. But I'd say that's because of that stupid formation. Why are we playing a formation we've never structured ourselves to play? If it's any manager that's doing that, it should only be the best manager that's ever existed in Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson structured A, B and C, 3 different teams in 3 different sections. So he could play his starting 11, his subs and his reserves and still outdo a lot of managers, a lot of teams. And that proved of why Sir Alex Ferguson could never be overtaken. Even though Pep's done the 4 Premier Leagues in a row and won the treble, how many people are going to back Pep to actually be better than Sir Alex Ferguson? Not many. Same with Klopp. Why would you even put Klopp as a top 5 manager? He's not top 5. Because you've still got many other managers who are better than him. Oh well. Well, here's what it is, ain't it? But with that game yesterday, completely Donnarumma has fucking sorry. Hats off to you, honestly. You kept that City team intact throughout that whole game by yourself. By yourself. If not for you, that City team is losing about 20 fucking nil with how shit they played. I don't care that they didn't have the best centre backs, they didn't have the best right back, the best left back. You don't freaking go through all that. Look at how many teams have struggled without strikers for all these seasons, without defenders for all these seasons, and yet somehow still pallet our win. Okay? We've struggled in our midfield and our defence at times without anybody. And look at that now, we're all back because we haven't got anything to go for other than the Premier League's title, which we're not going to get. Because Arsenal, we gave you that opportunity to get 9 points. Yeah, you can complain about, oh, it should have been handball this, should have been handball that. No. You play to win. Fuck the handball. I know obviously it should have been handball, yes. But it wasn't given. You had your opportunities to get 9 points clear in that table. We gave you that. But we're not going to give you an opportunity next weekend. I'm not going to say that we're going to win. I'm going to say United are going to go there and fight. Fight like we did better against you at Old Trafford. Where we got outclassed by one silly fucking set piece. And we should have absolutely wiped the floor with you at that time. But we didn't. because we weren't clinical enough. But this time, anything can be different. We could actually go there, beat us at Emirates, which is going to be a 2-1 again. But we could also go there and draw. Can only see what can happen. But I'm not going to say, oh yeah, we're going to absolutely thrash us like we did against City. No, I'm not going to do that. What's the point? Because if I'm saying that means I'm definitely going to be backing the manager even more and more and more to get a freaking contract signed. I don't want that yet. I don't want people putting pressure on Carrick. I want Carrick to realise, just like Ollie did, not to, do what Ollie actually did at the end, where he got a contract and then things just started falling apart. For this, take your time, Carrick. Build what you can. Just try not to get any players injured as best as you can, which he didn't do yesterday, obviously. Maguire nearly got hurt by Haaland, but that was Maguire's own mistake. But all he needs is just basically a bit of a touch up on his knee and that should be alright, because he's a strong lad. But it is what it is. If I can go from what I said about City not actually playing the best, that was one of the worst they've ever played against any team because they didn't have one shot on target. But that can happen to any team. They played what they could. It wasn't enough. But United did what they needed to do, which was build a structure around them. So then City couldn't escape. So every time when City tried to look for someone, United were just basically saying, no, you're getting blocked. You're blocked. You're fucking blocked. That's why we could counter-attack when we got that ball. But we were the better team throughout the whole game. Even if we didn't have the ball, we made sure we went into the right positions, the right places. And when you passed the ball, we could easily get it off you. Or you could pass it to us. We could just counter-attack and score. Like I said, that third goal that Mason Mount scored, that should have been counted. But I can't really say anything now because VAR and the referee said it was disallowed. But we should have battered you. Obviously, I know 20-0 was a bit more sarcastic, but it should have been like 5 or 6-0. But you know what the referees are like in the VAR. They don't want us to fucking get that. They don't want us to beat your record. They don't want us to beat Liverpool's records or anything like that. Eh? We have to earn our way to do it. Oh well, but fair play to Carrick for doing what he did against Pep. The thing is, I always give credit to Ole for doing what not many managers can ever do, which is win four games against Pep Guardiola in one single season and beating Chelsea 3 times in one single season as well. Not many managers can do that. So Ole, that's definitely good respect for that. And Carrick for coming back and winning that game, showing all these other managers how to actually do it. It's perfect. So fair play to you. And I hope United can keep carrying on throughout the rest of the season as best as they can, beating other teams, showing them that we're back as best as we can be. Because we're not back properly, and we need to buy more players that can fit into our structure. So I'm not going to go ahead of myself and say, oh yeah, Carrick's done absolutely amazing. Can only wait and see what happens against Arsenal, against Tottenham, against West Ham, against Fulham, against any team that we've got now down the line. But here's what it is. And thank you for listening, guys. Catch you in the next one. Bye.